The sun was high, birds sang, four friends, Max, Lily, Ben, and Chloe hiked through the woods.
I'm tired.
Let's take a break.
They found a shady spot under a giant oak tree.
Look, a trail. Let's see where it goes.
It looks creepy.
Curiosity outweighed fear. They started down the path. The air grew cold, the sunlight faded, the trees grew thicker, their branches twisting together like gnarled fingers.
Do you hear that?
A low murmur seemed to drift through the trees.
It's probably just the wind.
But he sounded unsure. They walked on deeper into the darkening woods. The path led deeper into the woods. The air grew colder, the light dimmer, the murmuring grew louder, whispers carried on the wind.
This is creepy. Let's go back.
We've come this far. Let's see where it leads.
Lily shivered. The whispers seemed to be getting louder. They rounded a bend in the path and gasped. Before them lay a clearing bathed in an eerie silver light. In the center stood a village of small wooden houses. But something was wrong. The houses were old, decayed, and covered in cobwebs. The silence was absolute.
What is this place?
The village was silent, deserted. The friends stepped cautiously into the clearing. A shiver ran down Lily's spine. The air felt heavy, oppressive, like something was watching them.
Hello?
His voice echoed in the silence, unanswered. The houses seemed to stare back at them, empty windows like vacant eyes. Ben picked up a wooden doll lying in the dirt. It was dressed in rags, its face blank and pale.
This is creepy,
he muttered, dropping the doll. As they walked deeper into the village, the feeling of dread intensified. The silence was broken only by the sound of their own footsteps. Chloe pointed to a wooden signpost, its paint faded and peeling.
Look.
She whispered. The sign read, "Welcome to Hollow Creek." Below, in smaller letters, someone had scrawled, "Turn back while you can." The sign sent chills down their spines.
Turn back?
I'm with Chloe. This place is bad news.
But Max was already walking towards a large building in the center of the village. It looked like a town hall. They reached the building and Max pushed open the heavy wooden door. A gust of icy wind slammed it shut behind them, plunging them into darkness.
Who's there? Suddenly, the air filled with whispers, faint voices swirling around them, filled with anger and pain.
Max shouted, his voice trembling. The whispers grew louder. Chloe grabbed Ben's arm, her eyes wide with fear. Then a ghostly figure flickered into view. A man, his clothes torn, his face contorted in a silent scream.
This is not a good place,
Ben whispered, his voice shaking. More figures began to appear. Men, women, children, all shimmering like heat haze. Their eyes filled with sadness and anger were fixed on the four friends.
We need to get out of here.
She cried, but the door had vanished. They were trapped. The ghostly figures moved closer, their whispers turning into wails. A woman with long, tangled hair reached out towards Max, her hand passing right through him. He gasped, a cold dread gripping his heart. They were surrounded. The ghosts pressed in, their icy fingers brushing against their skin. The air grew colder, the whispers louder, filled with an unbearable sadness and rage. Chloe closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face. Was this the end? Would they be trapped forever in this village of lost souls?
This way. Panic surged through Max. He had led them here. It was his fault they were trapped. He had to get them out. But how? Looking around frantically, he noticed a faint glow coming from behind the stage at the far end of the hall.
He shouted, pushing past the ghostly figures. The others hesitated for a moment, then followed. They raced towards the light, the wails of the ghosts echoing behind them. The light led to a narrow passage, hidden behind a tattered curtain. Without hesitation, they plunged into the darkness. The passage was cold, damp, and smelled of decay, but they didn't stop. They ran until they could run no more, the ghostly wails of Hollow Creek fading behind them. Where did the passage lead? Were they safe, or were they heading towards an even greater terror?